Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This time, let's create a program that would display and perform the following operation. As you can see on the screen, we have the sample program that computes or creates or use multiplication tables here. So for the first example, we're going to display a simple multiplication table in a single line. Okay, this one here. The second example here is that we're going to have a detailed multiplication table. And this multiplication table is formatted wherein we'll have the numbers multiplied by, let's say, 1 is equals to 8 up to 10. And the third example here is that a multiplication table with a grid wherein we're going to have n multiplied by the by 10 here. Okay, so this will be our goal for this program. So let's start. So I have here the basic structure of our C++ code. Then we're going to have first, let's design first the menu. By the way, we're going to use here or apply the looping statement do while, okay? And then let's have this one first. Okay, later, I'm going to write here the condition. Now for our menu, let's display first the menu that we'll be having in our code. First thing is that let's display here, say, choose an option. You have to select one of the choices here. Okay, see out. Let's just have multiplication table 1, 2, 3 since we have the description listed here in our code. So I'm just going to type here multiplication table 1 and then 2 and then 3, right? Okay, so that it would be easier for us to uh, identify which multiplication table are we executing. After that, next is let's ask the user to uh, enter or choose from the list. Choose your choice. Choose your choice. And then we're going to have the following choices for the user. Okay, so by the way, let me just add an option here for us to select. So the user would have to choose numbers 1, 2, and then 3 to identify which multiplication table based on the list here. So when we go here, this will be number 1, this will be number 2, and this will be number 3. Okay. So since the user is asked to choose an option, let's create a variable here, int choice. Okay, there. Then let's have this one. So cin choice. Now, to also, since the user will be selecting here, I'm going to use a switch statement. Switch choice there. And then let's populate this one first. Okay. This one here, case 1, will perform the first choice. So case 1. So I'm just building this basic structure before we write the actual code, right? Okay. This is case 1. There. And this is case 2. Break. Break. Sorry. Break. Okay. Sorry. What's happening? There. Okay. Case 3. Then break. Then something wrong with my keyboard. And then default. Okay. And then once we have the default here, we just need to say cout. invalid choice. Okay, there. And then after that, we just need to press here. Okay, continue. The reason why I'm doing this is after the user has selected, we will be asking them if they like to continue or not. Okay, do you want to continue? Yes or no? And then we just need to have another option here, character type. Let's call this character. Try again. Okay, this variable here will be used for our do you want to continue options. Okay, and then cin, try again. Yeah, now since we are in a loop, so we need to create here the condition while. Okay, try again. Okay, it's exactly equal to yes, or try again, exactly equal to yes, this one here. After that, let's terminate the program just in case the user decided to press no. Let's have exiting the program, and then let's say goodbye. Okay. Bye. And then let's have our end line here. Okay, so I think this will be the basic structure of our program code. Now let's try to work on each of the multiplication table here. Okay, multiplication table 1, multiplication table 2, multiplication table 3. Okay, so first thing is that we need to have it in a single line table or single line. Now we're going to ask the user here to enter n so that we could ask him what particular multiplication table or what number are we going to have. I'll be adding here another variable n. Okay, and then once we're here, okay, so this is case number 1. Okay, let's move it inside this option. Okay, I just need to remove, okay, sorry, section here. Now let's start by asking first enter n for the wait, okay. Okay, enter n for the mul, enter n, just stick, called it enter n, right? So this will ask the user number, okay, there. And then let's start the multiplication table, or let's design the multiplication table. Cout multiplication table, table 4, and then let's say n, then n line. Okay. Then let's have the loop itself. So we start with 4, int I is equals to 1, I less than or equal to 10, and then we increment the value by 1. Now inside the body, we just need to multiply the value n and our loop here. So in this case, it's going to cout and then n multiplied by I. Now for uniformity, let's have here t, or for our tab. I think that's about it. After that, let's have some spaces after we have that. Okay, so this is our first example. I think there's something wrong here. Okay, let's try. Click here, run. So this is our menu, and then if we press 1 here, enter, and let's say a multiplication table of 5, then we have this value. Now we are asked to enter. Do you want to continue? If we press no here, okay, let's have some spaces there. So the program exits. Then later, we're going to, when we press yes, it would loop back. Okay, so let's adjust some of the, okay, some parentheses here, and then let's have some spaces. Okay, so I think this is the first, this is okay. Let's now go to our second multiplication table. In this case, we're going to format it in a way that we have 8 multiplied by n. Okay, so this is what we're going to have, a formatted multiplication table. Okay. Okay. Formatted multiplication table. Now, same thing, we're still going to ask the user to enter n here, okay? And then a formatted multiplication table, we're going to have that one. Now, let's just copy this line of code. Okay, enter n, multiply, formatted, let's call this formatted multiplication table 4, and then the value that we'll be having. Okay, next is, let's just copy again this section here, okay, so that we could speed up our dev time. Now, the only difference between the first and the second is that this one here is within the same line. Now, what we need to do in this line here is that the same thing. We're just going to multiply n by I, but let's sort of show here that the multiplication symbol, okay, there. And then after that, we have here I. I just need to have this one here, and then show n multiply by I, and then provide an end line there. Okay, so we're just showing here n, whatever value that we have here, multiply, this is to be displayed literally on the screen, and then equals, and then we multiply n by I. And then after that, after we print one line, it moves to the second line. Okay, so that's why it should be formatted like this, right? So we have variable n, this is variable I, so it increments here, and then we just show the multiplication of those values. So let's try the second example. Hopefully it works. Okay, so let's go back to our first example here. Let's say multiplication table of 7. So we have that output. Then if we press here Y, it loops back to the, it loops back because of the do while loop. And then it shows us again the options or our menu. This time, let's call for number 2. And then we are asked for to enter n. So let's use the same number 7. And then this is now the formatted multiplication table that we have. Okay, so I think the values are the same. So this is on a single line, this is in a formatted, in which case we separate each of the value. Let's press continue, and here to stop. Okay, so let's go back to our third example. Now in our third example here, we just need to have sort of a grid type output. So multiplication table grid, table grid. Let me copy this, and then let's have this remarks. Now, for the third example, we still need to ask for n, okay, and just need to copy this section here. And then after that, let's call this a grid type multiplication table. Okay. And then now, since this will be sort of a grid type multiplication table, the technique here is that we are we need to have two loops, one for x and then one for I, meaning the row and column. So um, let's have this one here. Okay. For int I is equals to 1. Let's start with 1, and then I should be less than or equal to n. Okay, then we increment the value by 1. Okay. After that, so that will be the outer loop. Then this will be for the inner loop for int j is equals to 1 there, and then j less than or equal to 10, and then j plus plus. I sorry, j, j plus plus. Now here we just need to multiply I and j. So C out, have here I for the outer loop multiplied by j, and then here let's have some spaces using our tab. Now after we have printed it, it has to move to the next line. So let's add here a next line, an end line here, sorry. Okay, end line there, and then have the break statement. So this one here will ask for n, and so this will be sort of the row, and then this will be sort of the column, right? And then we just need to multiply each of the numbers here. So let's try our code. So let's start with the first one. Let's go and have by 8. So this is the first output. Let's try again. Yes. Again, number 2. Let's have multiplication table of 8. So we have here, and then let's press it again. Yes. And then let's go for 3, enter n. So 8. So this is now the output. So in the grid type format, we will list down here 10. This will be sort of the j variable. This will be for the n sorry, I variable. So we just need to multiply each of the numbers here. So 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. 2 multiplied by 8, 8 multiplied by 2 is 16 there. So since we have it n here, 8, so the value will be up to 8. So if you look at the output, this one is the same as the other two multiplication table that we have earlier. Okay, so this is our examples of different types of multiplication table, and then we have applied here the for loop statement. We also apply here the do while statement for us to ask the user to if they like to continue or not. Okay, so that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.